Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to take a look and review the rules for the Stormcast Eternals Vigilant Brotherhood Spearhead in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Today's video is sponsored by Easy Roller Dice, fantastic quality, easily legible dice that make your games quick and easy. Easy Roller Dice also sell other accessories for your dice like dice trays, cases, bags and cups as well. Use the code CinderfulGaming to get 20% off your next order and help support this store and the channel. Our formation today consists of our General Yndrasta the Celestial Spear as named Stormcast Eternals character. For units we then have one Knight Vexillor, 3 Annihilators, we do have 10 Vanquishers but these are split up into 2 units of 5 and a Stormstrike Chariot. Our battle traits are Signs of the Storm. Yndrasta and your Annihilators are not set up during the deployment phase. Instead, from the 3rd battle round onwards, they can use the following ability, which is Lightning Strike Arrival. Use this during your movement phase, and the effect is set this unit up anywhere on the battlefield more than 6 inches from all enemy units. So this just allows you to keep a couple of your more powerful units off the table. This does mean, you're having to survive the beginning of the game with less of your force on the table, but these really strong units can come in and swing the tide where you need them to. Regiment Abilities, like all, we get 2 different ones to pick from. The first of these is Drive Them Back. This can be used at the end of any turn, and to declare it you pick a number of friendly units that are both contesting an objective and in combat. On this effect, each of those units can make a pile-in move, and for each unit that did this, you can pick an enemy unit within 1 inch and roll a dice, and on a 4+ inflict 1 mortal damage on that enemy unit. This is a pretty cool one, a little bit of extra damage, especially since you are very low numbered. Could be interesting. Defend to the Last is the other, a passive effect, and friendly units have ward 6+ while they're contesting an objective you control. I think for me this is the one I'd prefer. Getting wards on Stormcast, which you have a very elite force and not many wounds on the table generally, is probably the way to go. Next are our enhancements. We have one of these to give to our general, and there are 4 different options. The first is Prime Huntress. This is a passive enhancement, and the damage characteristic of Thengivar, Yndrasta's spear that she throws for a shooting attack, is 2d6 for attacks that target a monster. So this can be really powerful. There aren't an awful lot of monsters in the Spearhead games, so maybe it's not the best option. Strike with the Tempest Rage is passive, and this gives Yndrasta strike first if she's charged in the same turn. This is a pretty solid one. Dazzling Radiance is once per battle, and you can use it during your movement phase. You pick your general to use this ability if they were set up this phase, and you can turn 1 slain model to each friendly unit wholly within 12 inches of your general. Spearhead boards are generally quite small, so this could be a really solid one to use. It is once per battle, but using this right, making sure you've kept all units alive can be good. Hawk of the Celestial Skies is our last one, another once per battle one, but this one is used during any combat phase, and the effect of it is until the end of the phase you add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by friendly units while they're wholly within 12 inches of your general. It's going to be really good to get a lot of value out of your models. For me, I think this is actually probably the one I would go with, getting the most value and the most extra damage out of it. Our first fighter is of course our General Yndrasta the Celestial Spear. She has 8 health, a move of 12, 3+ save and a control score of 2. For weapons, she has the ranged weapon Thengivar, 12 inch range, 1 attack, 3 to hit, 2 to wound with 2 rend, damage 4 and the shooting combat ability, which is nice. Melee weapons, she has the Blade of the High Heavens. This has 5 attacks with 3s and 3s to hit and wound with 2 rend and damage 3. Now she does have a special ability which is Champion of Sigmar. Once per battle in any combat phase she can have a ward of 5+ this turn. This can really just help her keep that little bit more survivable. She also does have ward 6+ as standard and fly as well as a keyword. This means she can ignore vertical terrain when moving. All in all, she's a really solid piece to have in Spearhead. Next is the Stormstrike Chariot. 10 health, a 10 inch move, 3+ save and control score of 2. It's got its Great Stormbow with an 18-inch range, 2 attacks, 3s to hit and wound, and Rend 1 damage 1. You've also got some melee weapons, the Stormstrike Axe with 3 attacks at 3s and 3s to hit and wound, Rend 1 damage 1, and a companion ability attack for the Griff Charge's Sharp Beak and Claws, 6 attacks, 4s to hit, 3s to wound, and Rend 1 damage 1. A couple of different things it can do. First of all, it does have the keyword of War Machine and the ability Azir Unleashed, where in any charge phase you can declare this if this unit charged that phase and pick an enemy unit within 1 inch of it to be the target and roll a dice. On a 2+, you inflict D3 mortal damage onto the target, so pretty cool. It just wants to be charging as much as possible. Next are the Vanquishers. Now, as mentioned, we do have 2 units of 5 of them in this Spearhead. Each Vanquisher has 2 health, 5-inch move, 3+ save, and a control score of 1. They're all armed with Celestial Greatswords, which have 2 attacks each, 3s to hit and wound with Rend 1 and damage 1. Their big thing here comes in their abilities, Lightning Strikes, which is a passive effect, and what this does is adds 1s to the damage characteristic of this unit's Celestial Greatswords for attacks that target an enemy unit that has 5 or more models. Our other infantry unit type are the Annihilators. These have 3 health each, which is really nice. It's pretty slow with a 4-inch move, though that's not as big a hindrance as it might seem in a game of Spearhead, especially when these guys aren't going to be slugging across the table. They will be coming down from the skies from turn 3 onwards. A 2+ save is really nice as well, and a control score of 1. They're armed with Meteoric Hammers, which have 3 attacks each at 3s to hit and wound with Rend 1 and damage 2. Their ability, Force of a Falling Star, can be used during any charge phase, and to declare it, if this unit charged this phase and the unmodified charge roll was an 8+, you can pick an enemy unit within 1 inch of it to be the target, and that target unit, the effect, will give them the Strike's Last rule. Pretty cool ability, like allowing you to get more of your attacks off before your opponent can activate, which is really nice. Lastly, we have the Night Vexillor. 6 health, 5-inch move, 3+ save, and control score of 5. The model is armed with a Sigmar Warblade, which puts out 4 attacks at 3s and 3s to hit and wound, Rend 1, and damage 2. The ability Banner of the Reforged is nice, and this can be used during your hero phase. You declare it, you pick a friendly unit wholly within 12 inch of this unit to be the target, and the effect is you heal D3 to the target. In addition, you also add 3 to the unit's control score until the start of your next turn. This healing ability here is why I prefer to go for Hawk of the Celestial Skies on Yndrasta. Dazzling Radiance is healing, but we already have that on the table, so if we protect that Night Vexillor well, you should not need the extra healing from Dazzling Radiance, and Hawk of the Skies will just boost your offense more. But we hope this video was helpful in giving you some ideas and our thoughts on Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead, and that you were able to get some inspiration to start your own force in the game with it. If you have any other questions at all, please comment down below, and while you're there, also don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar content.